The momentum on this issue has built over the past 3 years. I think at its heart, the simplest thing to say is this is what happens when a mother loves her son. This is what happens. And it proves the point that small things that started small. We were just a small group. We were talking about it in my office, and Margaret said, do you think I could raise this issue at Queen's Park? Do you think that we would be able to build some momentum? And I think the answer that you have today, Margaret, is yes. Yes, you can.
I really would like to thank Laurel Broten for all her support over the years. Since 1997, my family has epilepsy. This is from the moment that my son and us experienced his first grand mal seizure. As any parent, mother or father would, I had to help my son. Each day, an average of 42 Canadians learns that they have epilepsy. 1/3 of these people do not respond to the best available treatments and suffer uncontrolled, debilitating seizures. People with epilepsy don't want to admit to having it, fearing the stigma associated with and the misunderstanding of epilepsy.
I've had epilepsy for about 6 years now. And I was, as Margaret described, I was a reporter and I was a morning show anchor at Global News, which meant I'd get up every morning at 3 o'clock. I'd have about 6 cups of coffee. I'd write a bunch of scripts, have 6 more cups of coffee, get on air, and speak live for 3 hours. One day we were at the cottage for Thanksgiving, my husband's cottage, family cottage. And I woke up Saturday morning and I had this pounding headache, and I thought, oh, it's probably because I slept in. It was 7 o'clock, so that's like sleeping in for 4 hours, a big deal for me. And I thought maybe it's because I missed my 6 cups of coffee that morning as well. So my husband came into the kitchen and he said to me, honey, you had some kind of weird convulsion last night. And I just kind of laughed. It just seemed strange, a convulsion, bizarre. But I promised him I would go see a doctor. We have amazing medical care here. We have lots of expertise. We have the necessary testing facilities, and by the end of the day, I knew that I didn't have any of the really scary things that I was afraid of. I knew I didn't have a brain tumor or an aneurysm, and that I wasn't going to die. So when I found that out, I was very relieved. And then when I found out I had epilepsy, I thought, great, hey, I'm not dying, and there's a pill for that, isn't there? And there is a pill. There are many, many pills. And for some people, about 30% of people who have epilepsy, the pills don't really work, and I'm part of that 30%. I still get seizures. They will not go away completely because of medication, because of the medications that exist right now. I went online and I Googled epilepsy in Toronto, and I came up with Epilepsy Toronto, which is an organization, a very good resource for people in the epilepsy community here in the city. And I spoke to the counselors about what my legal rights are, because I thought I was going to get fired for sure, how my workplace could accommodate my seizures, and other things that could be done to make my life easier with seizures. So I quit the morning show and went back to reporting, got a proper night's sleep again, but unfortunately the seizures worsened. I started getting them during the day, which is much, much worse than just having them at night in my sleep. And then of course the worst, I had a seizure while I was in studio. I was about to present my report, sitting next to the anchor. We're in a commercial break, and then I took a dive, had my seizure in the studio, and that's when I thought, really I was going to have to make some changes in my life. I felt really, really isolated and confused because obviously, I'm able and I have a career and I have a family and everything's good, but I also have a disability, and how am I going to handle that? How am I going to incorporate that into my life? What do you do if you don't qualify for disability benefits, but you can't get a job either because people are afraid to hire you? What if you do have a job, but you don't have benefits, so you can't afford to pay for all the expensive medications that aren't covered by other programs? If you don't have access to a specialist in your area, if you live 200 kilometers from a city like Toronto, how do you get your appointments? You can't drive. Taking transit's not that great. So those are all things that people need support with. They're issues that can't be resolved just with fundraisers and with support groups. We need to have policies in place so that people with seizure disorders can achieve their potential. And we need to fund the kind of research that will find answers and improve treatment of this really perplexing condition.